everyone, and welcome back to the Movie Amigos podcast. This is Hila.
I'm Josh.
Hoover here.
And today we're having a special episode, if you might want to call it that.
Bum, bum, ba-dum.
Wait,
Bum.
No one's getting married.
Oh. Wait,
that's
what?
Wrong. That's the wrong.
Why am I in a tux? Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Okay.
We are celebrating our 1 year anniversary of our podcast, guys.
Even though the lines on that are kind of blurred, right?
Yeah, we don't know when we really started, but it's been about a year.
Yeah, we released our first episode on YouTube like a year ago.
All right. We don't know
Or
the
a year
exact
ago
date.
to when this episode will possibly come out.
Right,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
But
So,
this is the anniversary
if
episode.
like Mercury and Venus align in the right way,
Yeah.
it's our anniversary.
But in a way, it kind of is, because we recorded our first episode in June of 2020. So technically, it's already been a year, so I think it's an adequate time to record an episode.
What a time to be alive that was.
June of 2020.
Yeah.
I feel like we
A
were
year
all
ago?
excited. You're like, remember that June 2020?
Well, remember our humble blanket fort beginnings? Now we've upgraded to a
Well, we didn't
6
even have
mattress.
a blanket fort, because the first episode
Yeah,
was
that's
in my
true.
room with
6
terrible
mattresses.
audio.
We have a mattress mention now.
It's just, the thing is, comparatively, it's terrible. But like, it's just because this audio now is so crisp, you know.
That's true.
We are still using what you call in Spanish casera, homemade
Backyard
means of
Honduran engineering.
yes. Wait, what? I don't know. I'm not Honduran.
I
Blankets and mattresses and the phones. Just now, it's like a little bit of an upgrade. We're using
Well,
the
that's
phones
okay.
and the mattresses
we're
But-
getting there.
and
Yeah.
the different room and
Mm-hmm.
a carpet.
You have
Right.
A room?
larger room for us to record in.
Yes.
Yes, upgrades. It's all about looking back and how far we've made it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say that this episode is gonna be a lot more relaxing. Kind of like our first episode, it was just catching up.
Mm.
I feel like we always do that. It's like a big thing. Hubert was saying that earlier today. Like, that's a big theme in our podcast. We're always catching up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah.
Can it be off the cuff for me? Because I don't know what I'm going to say.
Nobody knows. I think that's what makes it fun. I think that this episode is going to go wherever it needs to go.
Like, what does off the cuff come from? Where does that phrase come from?
I don't know. I've never heard of
Joshua?
it before.
Off the cuff. Cuff is Latin. The
What?
Latin
No, it's
form.
not.
I
I'm just
don't know
kidding. I
about
don't
that.
So, yeah, I think that we're just going to have fun with this. If you guys are willing to stick around just to kind of reminisce with us and just have a good time. Also, our our brains are fried, as
Yeah.
you can hear. We just recorded an amazing, because we do back to back, and we recorded an awesome episode, which was last time. So please watch it, listen to it if you speak Spanish. If you don't, listen to it still. I feel like, why not, right?
Yeah, you can
Go
learn.
for it.
Or you can look up the movie and then see what you think of the movie.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
it's
And
about.
then you
Because
let us
they
know.
probably won't understand.
Yeah,
us
and then
that's
just
true.
let us
Spanish.
know. I'm willing to discuss the movie that we watched last time with you in English.
Mhm.
So do that. But now we're in this episode, and it's our anniversary, and we're very excited. The fact that we've made it this far actually shocks me, and we still don't hate it.
Yeah, it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad that this is something that we are still doing, and in all honesty, I think this, whether for me it is, at least it's a reason why our friendship has, one of the reasons why our friendship has like stayed cohesive, or
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
we have one reason for us to get together
Mhm.
and for us to, you know, keep that friendship going.
This is the only
stronger than it
reason we're
already is.
friends. If it wasn't for this podcast,
no,
we
no,
wouldn't
no,
It's
that's
talk.
like
what
a
I'm saying.
ball and
It's one of
chain
the
that's
reasons.
keeping me, you know.
Right, exactly. Like you're married. You guys are married to me now.
Right.
Wait.
Or wait, I'm married to you.
I don't think that's how it works.
Through
So
movies.
when something's off the cuff is because a writer or a speaker or an actor would write notes on their cuff because they
Oh,
didn't
very
prepare in
interesting.
advance.
Oh.
Wow, awesome. Thank you.
Wow. So he
appreciate
is
that.
off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
We all are. We
But I'm not a
prepared
writer.
Nothing.
Oh no,
You're a
sorry,
writer.
an actor or speaker.
We're all actors.
We're acting in the game, the big game
Actoristas.
of
That's
life.
not a word.
I'm more of a stagehand.
What?
And I'm the director.
Oh, yes.
What?
You are
Behind
just
the
a director.
scenes, pulling the strings.
You are wearing a hat.
Mm.
Steven
Hey,
Spielberg hat.
Whoa. With my tux?
Isn't
With
it
my
a
wedding
cap?
tux?
Not a hat.
Oh, wait. What's the difference? Oh, yeah, it is a
A
cap.
little
But you can
cachucha.
still call those hats,
Cachucha?
right?
Now you're speaking in Spanish.
baseball
Now
hat?
the
Or is
Spanish
it
is
a
coming
Now
baseball
in.
the
caps?
Spanish is coming out.
We're
A
all
cap.
over the
Sorry.
place. Cachucha or cap?
And who was having a whole monologue on the other side?
Sorry.
Well, I think that one thing that we can all say briefly is maybe a favorite memory this year is the podcast.
Nice.
So,
Mhm.
Josh, you can start.
Sure. There's a lot of really funny clips, like really funny moments. One of my favorite ones was when we first started and we were going through trivia and you were asking the questions. You were asking a couple questions and who and I were arguing back and forth. And like, I was like, you're going to lose your citizenship or whatever.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was like
yeah, yeah.
yelling at him. I don't
Your
know.
Yeah, I remember.
citizenship, you mean
Yeah.
So
your
funny.
film buff
Oh, I'm
card?
gonna-
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but we
deport
also-
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
deportation.
yelling
Yeah,
that I was
yeah,
gonna-
deportation. I mean, yeah, that is
Even though-
something that we mentioned. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. That's one of the highlights for me. There's also, I don't know, so many random things. Like there are times that we were recording and the dog that I live with, Obi, he would
Oh,
bark.
yeah.
And I had to pause and be like, hey, Obi, shut up. And then we kept recording like,
It was funny
so
is
the
that he
cinematography
wouldn't
of
even
Titanic
bark.
or whatever.
He would just be like a small
It
little
wouldn't
whimper.
even be barking. It would just be like, oh.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you let that go unchecked, you know how he is, dude.
Is he still doing that?
He has his moments.
He's a good boy, though, right?
He's
Mm.
he's a
Oh, he's not-
really,
I'm
he's
just kidding. Yeah,
the
he's a great
goodest
dog.
boy.
He's a great dog. But the other day, he ate something off the table.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh. Was he in trouble?
He was in big trouble.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
Well, why did he eat off the table? He
Hey.
shouldn't have.
Exactly.
He shouldn't have.
So, speaking of dogs, our Airbud, the whole Huva and I had a famous Airbud conversation that it wasn't on a podcast, but like Airbud's been on my brain
Yeah.
for like the last 6 months because of that.
And now we have the Dalmatians.
That's true.
Oh
And now the
my,
Dalmatians, there's a
Dalmatians.
dog connection throughout. So those are just a couple of my favorite moments. I'm sure more will come to us as we're talking about it. but-
Probably. What about you, Huve?
I'd say definitely prominent in my mind is Lumpy.
Lumpy
Lumpy is definitely
right.
like the
That
first
was
thing I can
awesome.
think of, which is something that has become like one of the
staple?
hallmarks. Yeah, a staple of our of map itself. Then the next thing you think of is Lumpy when it comes to us.
That's so true.
That's definitely one of them. And I've loved every single time we get together, even if it's like we think it's not a good episode or something. It's always been great just to hang out with you guys, and that's why I said in the beginning, why I love that we're still doing this, because it's
Mhm.
one of the reasons for us to still meld and have fun and just mess around is the
Mhm.
word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry for making it out.
No, I think it's
I'm gonna
nice.
cry.
And I think that it's cool that we're able to take something that we genuinely like and love and really take it into a hobby that we just enjoy. Like we just like it. And I think that that's what's important. I think that I don't like saying it, but content creators, whatever. Like that is something that you see somebody that you appreciate is because they are genuine about the stuff they make. And I think that as long as it always stays fun, and that's something that we've always discussed off recording and stuff. Like if it ever becomes like not fun anymore, then that's when we know that it's time to kind of end it.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of things have happened this year.
Mhm.
Not just like around, but personally for us,
Yeah.
like married, who we got married,
Mhm.
and Josh has done different things and changed places, and I've transferred schools, and we've just grown as people. And I think it's really cool that we're still here and we're still able to sit down and talk about movies and have fun and just have a good laugh, because that's something that for me, one of my favorite things is that I laugh a lot during this episode, that podcast. I think that when I listen back to the episodes, whenever I feel like I'm in a funky mood, or I'm just like bored, or I just really want to laugh, I will play a podcast, an episode, and I would just laugh. One, I will laugh at myself for the stuff that comes out of my mouth because I'm like, girl, what the heck were you thinking? And also because and it's funny because I'll listen back, or Hube will send us the clips before they're released, and Hube and Josh will say something, and then I would laugh, and then immediately I would laugh in the recording, and I'm like, and I would laugh the same way, which shows that it's genuine, right?
Yeah.
It's not like we pretend to laugh. It's not like we pretend to make the jokes. Like everything that comes out of our mouths is as it comes out, which is, I think, one of my favorite things. Which I don't know if that makes me a little bit self-centered, but it's like the way I mispronounce so much stuff.
Oh,
what I mean by that, not by my accent. No, I'm talking about my weird dyslexia thing.
Dyslexia?
Like my dyslexia, like the time warp. When I say the time wrap, things like that.
I remember that.
Or things that come out of context because in my brain they don't translate. Like the really famous finishes off.
Yes,
like things like that.
Iconic.
That I'm like, wait, like things that come out of my mouth without me realizing that comes out of my mouth, and it like things like that makes me laugh because I feel like I'm never in an environment where I can comfortably know that I mess up and not be self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
I'll just like, oh, well, whatever, and then move on. It's not like, oh, man, I messed up. Like, what are they going to think? They're going to think I'm stupid. But no, I think in this environment, it's fine, right? Because it's such a place where it's just so fun and comforting and just, I don't know, it's just a really cozy time. And I think, especially because we're all so busy with our own lives and our careers and everything else, that it's just nice to have at least once a month, once every 2 months, where we can just not focus on like having to pay the bills and having to go to work and whatever else we need to do, and just sit down and talk about the movie of the week or the topic or movie trivia or to choose one lie or lumpy things like that, where it's really enjoyable. And I think that my favorite thing is just that the environment that we are in when we're here.
Yeah, and I like that too, because like our audience too has been great. Like the comments we get, the engagement we get. We don't do it for numbers or like for views or whatever. We just like, this is literally just us hanging out, having fun. And still, despite that, people tune in, people listen, and it's always like so cool because it's not like people are, in our DMs like harassing us or anything. Like we're all here to have fun, and then everyone else has fun.
Yeah.
So, that's the goal. It's just, for the listener or whoever to feel like they're hanging out with us and having a good time.
Yeah, I agree. I like that, like Hila said in the beginning, that you guys have made me feel, because I have to edit the audio. And so I feel relaxed that you guys are also okay with, it's okay if we take longer to like post it on the next episode. So that way it doesn't become like, oh, we have to do it in this certain amount of time. We have to do it like every 2 weeks. It has to be the next one or whatever. It's whenever we're able to.
Yeah.
So it feels less of pressure. And I've actually appreciated that, because I have had things or times when I'm like, oh, I'm not able to, and I have to use someone else's laptop to do it. So it's not my own. And so it's like, it's a whole thing. And so I like that you guys haven't, and the things that you guys do, like when you do social media, when you do clips, I hope you guys do not feel pressured from, and for me, it's like, where are the clips? Where is the post?
Right. Yeah.
Not at all whatsoever. So I appreciate that you guys do the same thing with me. And I like that it's relaxed. We're just doing it for fun, like you said. And I feel that. And I always look forward to every time that we're going to record, just for us to laugh and just to be dumb and mess around.
Yeah, I think that's what adds a charm listening back to us. Not to, like I said, not to be self-centered, but it's like the people I like to watch are people that are genuine about what they do. And I've been in the side of things where it becomes like, instead of a hobby, it's like, what, I need more followers or I need more views. And I feel like, sadly, some people do want to make it a full-time job, and that's good for them. It is hard work, and they get to where they need to go. that's not it. Like our goals in life are not to be huge podcasters and like make a living. It's just literally to have fun.
And it took us out of our comfort zone too. Especially
Yeah.
when we started, and even now we're doing things that
Ooh.
we're experimenting, we're trying new things. And
Yeah.
it's
And that's
kind of
great.
exhilarating.
Yeah, and I also think that because we're all so different, we all have different points of views
Yeah.
in different films and topics. We all look at different things, which is something that we discussed in our first episode.
Hmm.
You know how we all look at separate things, but I think looking back at the first episode till now, I've learned so much about film. I've learned so much about technicalities and like the technical aspects and just a lot of things that come into filmmaking that I never once thought about or ever once thought through, or things that I can look at film now and I notice and I appreciate more because I learned it through the podcast. It
Mhm.
wasn't because I went out of my way and did research, but I'm like, oh crap, had no idea that was a thing. And now
Mhm.
I do. And that's something that I wouldn't have been able to do through this podcast and through you guys and through these conversations.
Yeah. I've learned that film is like almost endless. I don't know how to explain it. Like, in the sense that like my watch list keeps growing and growing and growing.
Mhm.
And it's just the more I talk to you guys about stuff, you guys give me recommendations. I'm online looking at different stuff, looking at different other podcasts, other accounts, other movie related stuff. And there's so much out there that I can learn about the world, about humanity, about people, about culture from film. And that's kind of what drives my passion of trying to select something left field, of trying to pick something out of the ordinary, out of the box that we wouldn't necessarily watch normally.
Yeah.
And I love that I get that opportunity with you guys, because you guys are really open-minded and tolerant of my picks.
Oh, yeah, dude, I feel like your picks have been very, very successful. So
Honestly,
don't feel
yeah.
like,
I
know,
do
we have to
become
tolerate it.
skeptical, yeah, but
Mhm.
you've chosen well, my friend.
Well, that it just means there's more pressure for these next few picks.
Oh, you don't have to do
No,
that.
I think
No,
you're
you-
doing great.
Cool
I
the
think
other
you
way,
should
it's
stay
okay.
there.
Okay,
Just,
okay.
you know, don't go
I'll take it
little-
easy. I won't let it get to I won't
Go
overthink
right
it.
field.
Yeah, right field. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
center. What's
Uh,
the-
Just stay
What's the opposite of
steady.
left?
if I make
No,
three
no.
lefts.
Stay steady at the road you're going.
Okay, got it.
Just where you're going, stay there. Don't go too far out there, because I don't know if we can get there with you.
Yeah. No, I get that too. I get that.
But definitely your last pick was like, it was successful. I feel like it was a great pick and we enjoyed it. But it was definitely the one that was out there the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's
that
very interesting how like, oh, we've been there.
We've covered a lot of
been
ground, a lot of different genres too.
and I'm very happy for that. I think my picks. Well, I've only gotten two, and who has only gotten two. But I think that with the picks that I've had, and even like just in general, I feel like we've gone from like animation to stop motion and
different
to
countries.
drama
Mhm.
to
Languages.
just in general. I think it's been really good and diverse, and I really like that, and I appreciate it. I think there's something for everyone, at
Yeah.
least so far in the
Yeah.
catalog.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah. For sure. Like even like, I could tell my parents to be like, "Hey, we did an episode on Mulan."
Yeah.
And I could
Mhm.
tell some crazy film geek like, "Hey, we did an episode on Night of the Hunter." you know?
Right.
Mhm.
And they're like, "What? You guys did that? That's awesome."
Mhm.
And I think that, and even things like Inglourious Basterds, which is
Yeah,
a classic. I
mhm.
feel like at this point it is a
Yeah, yeah.
classic, which a lot of people like. Even people that are like, "Oh, I like that movie. That was cool." And I
Mhm.
feel like even that episode, it wasn't just about the film, but we definitely touched on other things.
Yeah.
And we can also go over something as basic as like Titanic, which was
Mhm.
like our big one, and
Mhm.
it was a great time,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So, and I look forward to the rest of the stuff. I don't know how long we're gonna do this for, but you know, if it's another year, great. I look forward to that, and I know that there's gonna be a lot of great films that we get to watch. And I feel like the podcast does encourage me, because on social media, I also like to post reviews sometimes or
Mhm.
recommendations, and I think that pushes me to want to explore film a little bit more
Cool.
too as
Yeah.
well.
That's true. That's true for me as well. A film. When I became friends with you guys, like I've said before, I was a fan of movies, but I became a fan of films or film in general
Yeah.
when I became friends with you guys, and from that point on, I really, really enjoyed film and looking at it from an analytical perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely the podcast is what has helped me make film just like a fun hobby, because I've 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 been watching less film like I did
Yeah.
before.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is what has made my love of film continue,
Yeah.
where because it has evolved into from less of like I'm always watching films,
Mm-hmm.
watching crazy films or whatever and going through my lists.
Mm-hmm.
But like Josh said, my lists I haven't been checking out from my list. My lists have just been like growing a little bit.
Yeah.
And but I am still enjoying that I get to do that with you guys. That this is what my excuse for watching movies is this. And by that I don't mean like mainstream ones, because yeah, we'll watch our mainstream ones, but I'm talking about like, older, more obscure with
Mhm.
Josh, and like more classic ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've seen films that I wouldn't have watched.
Mhm.
First, Josh, like what? And also, I feel like even like I said, we just have so much stuff. We have a great cinema, Perfect Blue, and then we have Dragonball Evolution.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which, we
yeah,
have
you're
Alita
right.
and
You're so
Inglourious
right.
Basterds, and then we have The Last Airbender.
Yeah, you're so right.
And I think that just makes it so much
And
fun.
we'll talk about it. We'll
and
tackle it.
We'll really be serious about it too, because it's so easy to trash talk a
Mhm.
film, and it's just as easy to say this movie's perfect, but nothing is ever perfect, and nothing is full. I feel like something that I learned too is fully trash.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Dragon Ball Evolution. But it just kind of opens up our mind to other things, and I think that's what it's really just. I don't know. I've really had a good time doing this podcast. Also, I know it sounds weird, but it's like it's cool to tell people like I have a podcast with my friends, and like, you do, that's cool, and I'm like,
Mhm.
yes, we do. What's it about? It's about movies, and they're like, oh, I don't watch movies, and I'm like, oh no, we have plenty.
Oh yeah.
We also have episodes where we just talk or we
Mhm.
play movie.
We got
movie
clips.
Games.
We got clips on Finding Nemo. We got clips of me getting soda poured on my feet.
That was great.
That was bad, and it continues, man. I'm sorry that every time you go to the theaters.
Oh, that I'm sorry. I've got to put it in the podcast.
Okay, go for it.
Last night, I watched Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, and the guy sitting directly behind me, of course, no masks, was burping the entire movie, burping every 2 minutes, burping. And I would jump up in my seat every time he'd burp, so he would see me being terrified of his burps, but he wouldn't stop. Literally through the after credit scene. The
I
after
would've
credit
moved.
scene.
Yeah,
It was pretty full. It was a pretty full theater.
Oh, that sucks.
So yeah, even through the
Mhm.
after credit scene. Through the credits.
Are you the kind of, which I don't know,
Mm.
would you ever turn around and be like, hey, come on, please?
And dude,
Or
I
like,
just know
know?
know it would escalate. I knew I
okay.
I had a feeling. I had a
Right.
feeling it would escalate. I'm like, let me I'm watching, a Punch Out on screen. I don't want to recreate that in the
I
theater.
see. Okay.
I feel like if I didn't know that you were a legit honest person, I would assume you're making all this up.
I was so mad.
The reason is because when I go to the theater, nothing ever happens. Like, it's and like when we had that episode about like worst movie experiences,
Mhm.
I didn't really have that many, and most of them were related to Josh because I happened to be at the theater with him. It wasn't because I went there by myself, except for like when I later on like talked about like that time with David. But
Mhm.
even then, it wasn't like terrible. You know what I
And
mean?
the other thing that they were doing, it was him and like a woman, the
Oh.
guy who's burping directly behind me, and a woman sitting next to him.
Okay.
And the other thing that they would do is when and I didn't say this to you guys earlier, when they were speaking Chinese, they would
Imitate them?
imitate the Chinese. So I can't imitate them imitating the Chinese, but you can imagine what that sounds like.
That sounds
Surprisingly-
so
Give it a try.
annoying.
So, but you can imagine.
Yeah.
I actually was more mad about the burping. I'll
Mhm.
say that. I was more mad about the burping than the Chinese thing. Maybe I should be canceled because I should have been more, oh, whatever, bro.
No,
I
I
What?
think
No.
well, one,
No.
in general, they shouldn't be talking during the movie in the first place, regardless of whatever language. Okay, they shouldn't be burping on you. Period.
Okay, so you guys are on my team.
Yeah, I think you're fine, Josh.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't been to the theaters in a minute. I think last time I went was to watch Black Widow.
Oh,
And it was
more
a
Marvel
great
movies.
experience.
Nice.
And I had a good time.
Good.
No one next to me bothered me.
That's really good.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Now
Like
the
I said,
movie.
Okay.
No, we don't have to talk about it.
Florence Pugh was perfect.
Oh, yeah, she was good.
Because
in the
she's
movie.
always perfect, right?
Of course, she's perfect to me, and that's it. Actually, I haven't seen in Midsommar, which I never will.
She's great in
And-
Midsommar.
I'm sure she is.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Is that? Are you talking about Julia Roberts or Julie Andrews?
Oh my gosh.
We were having this conversation.
I was
where-
confusing the two of them. They're very similar.
So alike.
They're the same person practically.
If you put a picture of one next to the picture of the other, you could squint and be like, "Are they twins?"
You can squint and
wait,
be
are
like,
you talking about
one's-
like at the same time?
One's a
year?
queen and one's a prostitute.
Who's the queen?
Julie.
Wait,
Julie
no,
Andrews, she plays a queen.
Julia Roberts is also the evil queen in
She
in
is.
that Snow White movie.
Snow White and the
Yeah.
Huntsman.
No,
No, the other
one
one.
with the other girl from Emily in Paris. What's her
Oh
name?
my gosh, I'm so lost.
I forget the name of the
Julie
movie.
Andrews?
From
It's like a comedy,
Abduction.
right?
Yeah,
The
I've
Princess
never seen it.
Diaries?
It's like ever
Abduction?
That's Julie
after
Andrews.
after
The Taylor Lautner movie?
Yes, the girl from Lily Collins.
Yeah, from the Mortal,
Instruments and The Blind Side.
she plays Snow White.
Yes.
I just don't know that. I forget the name.
Okay,
of the
I
guys,
think it's
I
called
kn-
Mirror.
Mirror.
There you go. I've never
That's what
seen
it
it,
is.
but I know she's in that.
Guys, I'm a movie amigo. You guys went a million miles per hour. I can't. Who's in what movie?
I think this is why you actually still are confusing Julia Roberts and Julia. See, I'm confusing the names now.
Julia Andrews?
Julia Andrews and Julia Roberts. You're
Julie-
still confusing them in
Julie-
your head.
Julie Andrews is one person.
And the reason is
Julie
because
is a different one.
Okay.
it's because one is Pretty Woman.
Yeah,
and, then
and
Pretty
one's in
Woman
My Fair
is
Lady.
My Fair Lady. The other one's My Fair Lady.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's why I got
what's
confused.
confusing?
That's why I got
I
confused.
can see that though.
But now you have to.
Kinda.
Okay, think about it this way: Julie Andrews is the older British lady, and then Julia
Uh-huh.
Roberts, it's the younger American one.
She's American?
Yes.
Okay, I'm putting
she
together
has red
like
hair.
I'm putting together one of those cork boards with a string connecting the dots.
Yes.
I've got
But
Mirror
who's
Mirror,
been murdered?
America. I don't know, my knowledge of
Your knowledge
movies.
been
So
murdered.
yeah, Julie Andrews is My Fair Lady on Broadway. Not even My Fair Lady the film. On
Mm.
Broadway, and she's known for The Sound of Music. She's
Yeah,
known
Sound of
for
Music.
most
The
recent.
hills are alive
Ooh.
That's beautiful.
finish
I
it?
think it sounds the same.
with the sound of music. I was hoping you would hit it.
Nice. So that's Julie Andrews, who
Okay.
We're gonna
more
get copyrighted.
prominent,
Oh,
more.
dang it.
She's more known as the Queen of Genovia.
That's true.
in
I know her
Princess
as
Diaries.
Genovia. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so she's the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Julia Roberts is the one Pretty Woman. What was
Notting
the other
Hill.
one? Notting Hill.
The Runaway Bride.
I don't like
Mhm.
that.
Your
Runaway
favorite.
Bride.
Notting
Aaron
Hill,
Brockovich.
Right. So that's what she's known for. She has like the wild curly red hair.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. She
I know
has
who
the
you're-
big
I- yeah.
Julie
smile.
Andrews has the short hair. She always
Like a
had
bob,
short
like a
hair.
Karen
Yes.
haircut.
Yes.
Yes.
She
Like
wants to
Well,
speak to
shorter
my
than
manager.
Karen.
Okay.
So there you go. Now you know the difference.
Okay.
You
All
get
right.
it now?
Thank you. I've
Okay.
been educated, cultured.
Between
Yes.
Julia Andrews. No, Julia Andrews and Julia Roberts.
Okay.
I don't like Julia Roberts. This is how it started.
Oh, why not?
Oh, Julia Roberts, not a fan.
Is she the girl from Sex and the
Because there's
City?
too much hype.
No!
There was too much hype around her.
Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Okay.
It's because there was too much hype around her when she was first got famous. Is that what it
Yes,
is?
that was it. It was a lot of hype, and I was like, "Oh, let me see." And then I watched it. I'm like,
Somebody here compared her to Emma Watson.
"Me, I
Okay.
did."
So you think also Emma Watson is a lot of...
It's like
Oh,
because-
no.
Okay,
Hey, I can kind of agree with that.
I
Oh,
like.
no.
Okay, no.
But not because of the hype. I just don't...
Huh?
You know,
What?
Okay,
You
there's
just love her.
You haven't seen the Harry Potter movies, that's why.
I have.
Wait, what?
He
Yeah.
has. He just doesn't care for them, which is fine.
You like Hermione?
Whoa, wait. That was never the subject. It's about Emma Watson.
We're talking about Emma Watson, not
Do
the
you
movie.
like
you
Hermione?
Said, you said that I didn't care for them.
You said Julie Andrews.
You said
No, I mean, are they your favorite movies?
no.
Do you hate them?
No.
Then you don't care for them. That's the other thing.
Who
Like,
plays
it's not-
Hermione?
Julie Andrews.
Got it.
Can you imagine Harry, Ron, and Julie?
Julie Andrews. I would
She
love
says,
that.
Harry.
It's Leviosa. That's my impression of Julie Andrews as
But
Hermione.
Granger. Okay, this is the thing for me and Emma Watson. Let me put this out. I have
Mhm.
nothing against her. I don't know her personally.
Okay.
Also, she's a beautiful, beautiful woman. I think she is genuinely a really beautiful person. I also like her brown hair.
Okay, we're on board.
So her physical features you like.
Yes.
Okay.
I also think that she's a brilliant person. She also is a graduate of Brown University with an English degree. So I'm like, I get you, girl.
All right.
I'm here for
English,
that.
English.
English to
I
English.
don't approve of her.
Uh-huh.
But
Sorry, that's just me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead and finish.
the thing with her is like she's just a normal person, right? Like she's not a bad actress, but she's also not worth the hype. I feel
Mhm.
like the biggest thing here is like in The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I
Mhm.
think she's fantastic in that. And I mentioned this in a Little Women episode because in Little Women I thought she was the weakest one, not because she was bad, but compared to the actors and actresses in this film, you can see. Obviously, that's okay. She's a good actor, whatever.
Hmm.
But I feel like sadly, I feel like when we go into a place where society makes things hype and then it kind of makes something to meet certain expectations and it just doesn't. And I feel like sadly Emma Watson is that person.
So let's flip it. Who's your favorite actress?
Florence Pugh.
I guess
And
that
then
tracks.
after Florence Pugh would probably be like, and I'm talking about like younger people, probably
Mhm.
Florence Pugh, and this is actresses, women.
Mhm.
Florence Pugh, Saoirse Ronan,
Saoirse Ronan.
her, pretty much the entire cast of Little Women.
I get you. Yeah.
I love Laura Dern. I think she's really talented.
Mhm.
And I would also have to say, what's her name? Viola
Julie.
Davis.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of hers.
Oh,
I
wow.
recently watched the Suicide Squad,
Mhm.
and I mean, she still played the same character as before,
Mhm.
but like, she did great. I thought, I like her a lot.
I liked her in that movie.
She's
yeah.
I think she's a good actress. So anyway, so there's people like that, and then there's Emma Watson, which there's nothing wrong with her. It's not even her; it's the hype around her.
Mhm.
And I feel like this is what happened. Harry Potter, and she gave most of her life for that. And it's like, and that's harsh for any actor that has been attached to a franchise, whether it's on the silver screen or the big screen. Like
Mhm.
that goes either way. But look at Daniel Radcliffe. He's
Yeah.
been able to, as they say, not live up to the hype, but genuinely do work that is more detached to what he's known for. And he hasn't made his entire persona into this thing. He's just like, I'm an actor. I like to act. This is a craft that I enjoy. Let me do work that I want to work on. And he's done different things. And you can see that. Even with Rupert Grint, he's taking his time to also, maybe it's taking him a little bit longer, but he hasn't let that persona follow him through his entire film. With Emma Watson, it's like I don't want to say she created this persona, but like people created this image of her that she's like this perfect activist, which there's nothing wrong with it. There's people like her, like Audrey Hepburn would be a great example, but Emma Watson's people around that, I feel, made her into this being, which she's just a normal person. And it's like the last movies that I've seen of her, they've been fine.
Mhm.
Even with like Beauty and the Beast, which I like that live action, and I think she's good.
Yeah, you watched that recently, right?
Not yet.
Oh,
I've seen it like 3 times though, twice
Mm.
in theaters.
dang.
I liked it, okay?
Okay.
And I liked Emma Watson in it. But then the reason she got casted, it wasn't because she was the best one for the part. It's because it's Emma Watson. See, I feel
Right.
like,
Okay.
and that's where my issue is with her, not because she's a bad person or a bad actress, and I think so she's a beautiful person. It's just the hype around her. It's like, sorry, it just isn't.
And you're pretty much on the same page.
And Julia
No.
Roberts is the same
You
thing.
like her less than Gila?
I don't care for her.
That's worse than hating her.
And the Beauty and the Beast is what before I said, I don't approve of her. It's because of her performance on Beauty and the
Okay.
Beast. But also, I'm not like, I'm not qualified to
You don't care
say
for her?
for her. I'm not an acting expert.
Well, I'm definitely not an acting expert.
Oh,
so
we know that. That's
I
why
don't
you
know where
like
that.
her.
I don't know where that puts me.
But maybe what didn't help is The Circle.
Okay.
Not the fact that
See,
when she
I
does
haven't
the movie,
seen that yet.
but
Maybe
I also
she's in
haven't
it.
seen The Circle.
I feel like if I watch The Circle, then I'll hate her.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't really know. I've heard things about her activism and all that. I don't, I'm not on her side on those things.
What don't you like about The Circle?
I've never
Um,
seen it, so I have. You can go for
everything.
it.
So it's incoherent. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Well, from what I can remember, right? It's just all over the place.
Hmm.
The
Mhm.
You
the
just don't-
technology,
okay.
because okay, they're trying to adapt from the book. I've never read the book. I
Right.
didn't know anything about the book.
Uh-huh.
It's the film itself, how it stands alone as
right.
a film.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna do it justice of how people have talked about it, talked about the book. You
Now
know
I
what I
kind
mean?
of want to watch it.
I have the book.
Now I
I
want
mean,
to
who's
read
the
the
other?
book.
Tom Hanks.
And
Mhm.
yeah,
Is
Tom
in it?
Hanks is in it.
Yeah, it's like Tom Hanks is in it. Emma Watson is in it.
Watson?
Emma Watson is in
Watson.
it. There's like these amazing actors are in it, but they flop.
Are they?
Mm.
I don't like Tom Hanks either.
Wait, what?
He's
But
also
that's the point, the
the
hype.
hype.
The hype, right? So
It's the
that's why I said
hype.
these amazing
Hold,
actors.
I thought
It's
you're like, I love Toy Story.
I do love Toy
You like
Story.
champion Toy Story.
I love Toy Story and I love
Yeah.
Woody and I love Buzz. I don't have
Yeah.
to see his face.
Huh?
I don't like Forrest Gump.
What
I've had
about
arguments with
Lost
my
in
sis-
Translation?
okay. It's coming back to me.
He's not in Lost in
Sorry, because
Translation.
I need to put
He's
my
in the
money where my mouth
terminal.
is. So the character motivations don't make sense throughout the film.
Oh.
So
The
like
Circle.
So would this
they circle
be...
around exactly.
Okay.
They circle back.
So the question here is it that you don't like the writing of The Circle?
Yes.
Or is it that you don't like the acting?
Both.
So you don't think that it's the writer's fault
Yes.
that these actors couldn't meet their...
Both. Oh, I see. You want me to so you're trying to say if it's the writing made the actors bad,
Yes,
or
like
if the
Twilight.
actors didn't do the writing
because-
justice. That's what you're trying to
Yes.
say. I think that definitely the script or the screenplay of the film, didn't help.
Okay.
Let's say the script,
Okay.
because I think when it comes to execution of like the screenplay, like the way the movie's gonna look, I thought that was okay. For me, it was the character motivation, like the writing,
Okay.
and then that didn't help the actors' execution. They felt like they weren't, which is why I say both. They weren't in it. They weren't
Okay.
like
So you think
like,
that they signed up
this was
for
just some
it,
other movie.
and then like they went, "Oh, that's not what we signed up for," but I guess we're here now.
Yeah,
I think I know what our next pick is going to be.
the
The
circle.
Circle.
Let's watch it. Hey, we can, and maybe I'm wrong, and I need to rewatch it and
I've
revisit
heard
it.
Yeah,
and it's full of
many
crap.
people talk about it. They all agree with you.
Okay, so
Okay,
what's
so I'm
your
not
deal
wrong.
with Tom Hanks?
Actually, you know what? Now that I'm really thinking about it, I kind of take that back.
All
The
right.
only reason is because for a long time I always felt like he was very similar to The Rock. He played the nice, goofy,
Mhm.
kind of
Lovable.
lovable
Mhm.
guy. But then I saw You've Got Mail,
Mm.
and he plays this like jerk. And honestly, I was kind of attracted to him when he was a jerk,
Mhm.
and he played it well.
So now we've reached somewhere.
Yes, we have.
Mm.
But I think that the fact that he was able to play this character but like not have any sense of his nice good boy charm. I'm like, okay, he's a good actor. Also, he's in Captain Phillips. He was good in that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
Look
you know
at
what?
me.
I take
I am the captain now.
yes. So I think that maybe looking back, I take it back. He saw a little bit more, a lot of the hype, but at least it's like it's a hype that I get. There you go. There you go. I think that makes more sense.
He has had a very extensive film career.
Yeah, so I'm
I can
like, that's why
understand why
I'm looking back. I'm like, okay, you know what? I can totally.
he is in
see
a
that.
lot of great film too. That's probably why people love him so much. He wasn't he at one point considered America's film sweetheart?
Yeah,
I
oh
think
yeah.
he
Because
still
of all the
is
film that he's
actually.
been in.
I do
Yeah,
believe
when
he still
he
is.
was one of the first major celebrities to contract COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like there was a huge response online of like, Tom Hanks, what?
I mean,
you know.
he's fine now.
Yeah,
Good
he's
for
of course.
him.
Yeah,
He's
of course.
totally
He's
fine. He was like, okay.
good. But yeah, the
Good for
internet.
him.
There was an outcry of support for Tom Hanks.
Right. And look, like I said,
He is well loved.
I think it's just I have a thing for people that are overly hyped. Like Jennifer Lawrence too. I don't like her. Overhyped.
Wow.
Same thing. I don't think she's a great actress. She just screams the whole
She's
time.
got an gosh.
Oh gosh. Maybe in that one she wasn't screaming the whole time.
You know what? Okay, now I'm gonna talk about a pet peeve, an acting pet peeve.
Ooh, okay.
Is I get
The Rock.
no, well, The Rock that's a whole other conversation. But like,
Julie Andrews?
that's a whole other conversation. Like, okay, Marriage Story. All right.
Oh, I
Okay.
love that
All right.
film.
There's a scene where it's like Kylo Ren and Black Widow are
Yes.
like, I wake up every day. And then she's like, I hate you. I die. You know, whatever.
I
And they're
hope
both
that
like,
every day, like you would get in a car accident so that you would die and I wouldn't have to kill you. Yeah.
those scenes, those types of scenes are like the actors being like, I'm acting.
Yeah, right.
Give
Acting.
me an
Yes.
Oscar. I'm acting.
I don't like those.
I don't like those.
Okay,
I
yeah.
don't like
Oscar
those.
bait.
scenes.
So, do you agree
Mhm.
with Laura Dern's Oscar for Marriage Story?
I did like Laura Dern in that movie, but it
Okay.
wasn't like she was like screaming at the top of her lungs, crying. It wasn't.
She
You know
wasn't
what? You know what's
trying.
another one of these performances from an actress I like,
Okay.
but Anne Hathaway in Les Mis,
Ugh,
Yeah.
Right?
I don't like
Yeah.
her
shaving
either.
her head,
She was like, she
crying.
always has a crying face.
You don't know the song?
No, I don't know the song.
I dream the dream.
Of time gone by. I sang a lot of this episode.
You know.
But yeah, those moments I'm like, ugh, like I just tune out immediately. I'm like, I'm watching a movie. We get it. You're an actor and you can act. Like that, I'm just not into that. I'm not a fan. So that's kind of like the whole hype thing, I feel like, to an extent.
Okay, I can totally see that. And I liked Marriage Story, and I have to admit that them screaming at each other was my least favorite part of the entire movie. To me, I feel like there's more nuance in an actor that can act with their eyes than how loud they can scream.
And
I can totally agree with that.
And that Marriage Story had a lot of hype too, but it's just not my type of movie. At the end of the
Which I
day, it's
get.
not for me.
I get it.
But especially those scenes, I was like, ugh, okay, you know.
Yeah, I get it. I think to me, funnily enough, Marriage Story I liked because I knew what it was about, and I'm huge on character analysis and character driven stories. If the story has no plot, I don't care. You can take place in a dinner table, like Fleabag, which is a show that I watch that I recommend to anyone who likes film, writing, editing, acting in general. I think this is an amazing show. The first episode of season 2 takes place at a dinner table. The whole thing. And there's just the way that it was written and it was directed and everything. To me, that shows better acting than somebody screaming at the top of their lungs saying, like you said, I'm an actor. Give me my Oscar.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I think, but I didn't mind it either because I don't mind the screaming and I don't mind the yelling. It's interesting. It's entertaining. But I have to agree with, especially some movies too, that I'm like, I think that's the reason why I don't want to watch like movies that people tell me to watch. Like you have to watch like Fast Five or like the Fast
I've been telling you
franchise.
since the start of this podcast to watch Fast
Like,
Five.
do I really want to watch it just because Josh likes them? I don't know. Is it really worth it? I don't know. I'm very much against the whole hype, especially with everything though. Shows, movies, I have to wait until it calms down, then I'll check it out myself. Or if it's something that is controversial, then I have to watch it so that I can have an opinion, which I've been very open about in this podcast.
What about you, Huve? Any scenes that turn you off when you're watching a movie?
Or pet peeves other than the
Other than the
drinks?
water?
Yeah.
Yeah, the liquid. Something that turns me off.
This is you talking. Something that turns me off.
Oh. I thought there was
This is
something
you.
behind me.
You're like this. You're like, something that turns me
I can't. I guess it's just like bad acting and like
But what is bad acting to you?
when you're taken out of the film because someone is doing a poor job in being a character or making it seem genuine.
Okay.
Because that's what acting is, right? Acting is you're portraying someone or a character in a way where you feel like it's real.
Okay, so let's play an example. We've had incarnations incarnations of the Joker
I was just thinking of that.
in Batman movies, right? We had Heath Ledger,
Iconic.
Jared Leto, iconic. For instance, is that something that watching one of them act over the other, do you have like a preference? Is there anything that would take you out of the movie for one of their performances or the other?
Yes. Okay. That's great. So let's do the Jokers. So we have 3 big ones.
Yeah.
Now we have 3, yeah.
So we have Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger,
Yeah.
and Jared Leto.
Well,
Right.
now we also have Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, that's
Right,
true.
Joaquin
Joaquin
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
I have not
forgot.
seen Joker,
Me either.
so I will not be able to comment on that.
Okay.
Now, okay, Jack. So there is different forms of acting, right? Depending on what movie you are filming or making, if the actor has a good view of what kind of film they're making or like the tone of the film, Jack Nicholson, I think they're great in matching the tone of Batman '89.
Yeah.
Where it is a little cartoonish and a little crazy. You know, he was very animated, but I think that fit the film.
Okay.
You know, it's Tim Burton film. You know, he fit the tone very well. And you can say, oh, he's like overacting. He's like doing too much. But that kind of is what Joker is.
Yeah.
You know? So then Heath Ledger, that's like a more grounded, you know, it's more not philosophical, like you're in the head of a psychopath type of like performance, and you don't know what he's doing, and he's crazy, and I think he portrayed that very well. That's great acting because you're watching and you're like, oh, this guy's crazy. I don't know what he's gonna do. Like, oh, he's playing a crazy man very well. You know what I mean? Oh, he doesn't seem like he's just reading lines from a script and doesn't know what he wants to portray or do. Jared Leto, that's overacting. I'm sorry. He overacted in that movie. I feel like he was trying to do his own thing, but at the same time trying to over be the Joker.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like this is my opinion.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of his performance or his acting. He I guess maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was also a combination of the production team and like, you know, just
costume design,
exactly. Or and you know,
the script.
Right, and also I heard that there was a lot more stuff that they filmed that weren't shown in the final cut of the film.
Right.
So that could hinder it some too.
Yeah. Fingers crossed we get another cut.
Right, we gotta get the Zack Snyder cut
Of the
of the Suicide Squad.
Not that, just Suicide Squad.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, of Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's a good
I guess compare and contrast. For me, acting, like, it's really rare for me to be taken out of a movie because of acting. For me, it's almost always something else. Like, the plot is stupid. That's something that gets me, like, a Transformers movie. Like, the latest ones have all been, like, insane. But it's not because I'm watching it, I'm like, the acting is so bad.
Right.
It's usually me being like trying to connect the dots, and there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
dots. I'm not even looking at dots. I'm looking at a white piece of paper, and I'm just trying to make heads or tails of it. But for me, it's like when I feel like a plot is stupid, and not even in a fun, self-aware way. Because there are stupid, self-aware plots, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm in.
Right.
And to an extent, for me, Suicide Squad fit that bill, the 2016 one.
Okay.
And so I gave like the acting of that Joker a pass, but in the sense of like campy, more having fun with it away than because if you really like break down that movie, there's a lot that's not great about it.
Yeah.
Especially the editing. But for me, the acting is like the last thing that I'll be like, everything falls apart and I have nothing else to cling on to except the acting, and the acting is bad. And I'm like, okay, this is bad acting.
Right.
That's usually when I notice acting. Like a Neil Breen movie. It's like, what? Oh, that is bad acting. Okay, I get it. I don't know. I guess really I'm not as focused on that aspect of it. Because there's times that I've watched a movie and in my head I'm like, that was perfect. There was no way they could have done that any better. And then I look at reviews and it's like 2.5 stars. The acting sucked. And I'm like, do I have problems? What is going on? I guess I can't tell. I don't know.
That's really funny.
But I just care about it less than other aspects of the movie.
I think that acting for me is a big one. It's like I've mentioned, the graphics don't really matter. Like that's why I also like live performances and plays. To me, it's more about the writing and the people delivering it. Me appreciating everything else is because of you guys have taught me, and I've appreciated things more now.
Cool.
Which is good, but I think acting for me is a big one. And when I know it's bad acting is when I know the actor is still the actor playing a role.
Okay, yeah, that's a good. I've heard that from other people.
To a character, like this is this character, like Heath Ledger being an example. When he got casted as a Joker, people were like, the heck? Why that guy? What about this one? What about this one? He would do much better. But then everybody was like shook because he did it his own self. He wasn't Heath Ledger, he was the Joker, right? And that's what like even for example, Suicide Squad with Harley Quinn. I think Margot Robbie is great as Harley Quinn, despite the writing of Suicide Squad. I think she was one of the better things. Not because she's like, oh, this is Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn. No, this is Harley Quinn, and people can say other things, but that's just my opinion, of course. And I've seen other films from her, and she's great. She's a good actress, but I think she does a great job as Harley Quinn, and she plays that. Somebody that maybe, for example, is in like an iconic like superhero, for example, you can say acting that I really, really, really liked, which I think is like not nuanced, but it's very quiet. Let me think. Because I really like a lot of period dramas too, which are very subtle. But
yeah,
I recently rewatched like Little Women, right? I rewatched it and we talked about it in this podcast. Like, for example, Laura Dern, right? She's in Marriage Story, and she's also in Little Women. She got an Oscar for Marriage Story and not for Little Women, which is fine. I think she also did get nominated. I don't remember. Because her and Scarlett Johansson had 2 nominations that year. Because Scarlett Johansson had a Marriage Story and Jojo Rabbit. And the way that she portrays this, this shark lawyer literally taking advantage of a woman's weakness to gain money and power, but in such a subtle way that you're like, the heck, this woman's not nice. But you don't you really have to be paying attention to the subtleties. But then you see her in Little Women, she's like this really loving mom who loves her kids, but also like with the way she acts, which is very subtle, very like just the way she breathes something out, like the way she catches her breath, the way she like takes a step back before putting a smile on her face. Like, this is a tired mom who's put up with a bunch of crap in the middle of war. Her husband's away, her children are dying, and yet she's still trying to put a smile on her face. And it's not Laura Dern playing a mom. It's a mom trying to take care of her children in this time. To me, that's
Marmy.
This is good acting to me. Other people might say otherwise. Some people might say, I hate her, she's a terrible actress, and that's fine. It's just an opinion. I'm not an actress. I don't know.
Yeah.
But to me, that's what I really like. Just like Florence Pugh, she's a favorite new actress because of how she's able to play. Go from like even in Black Widow. Let's be honest, she was one of the better things because she made Jelena, or whatever her name is, into her own character. Is the movie great?
Yeah.
But she stole the show. Let's be honest. It sucks that it was supposed to be a Scarlett Johansson film, but it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? She stole the show, and then you see other movies in like Little Women or even in Fighting with My Family. To you, if
She's
you
in
see
that
that
one,
movie, you don't know that's Florence Pugh. She's just she's just a young girl wanting to be a wrestler. Is that Florence Pugh? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. That to me, that's what it is. And there's other male actors out there that are fantastic at that. Robert Pattinson's one of them, which I think he's a very nuanced actor, which a lot of people only see him as the sparkling vampire.
Yeah.
Which I get. Willem Dafoe is someone I've really liked as well.
I love Willem Dafoe.
Amazing. I rewatched him as the Goblin in Spider-Man, and he was fantastic. I loved it. And before that, I had seen him in The Lighthouse, and I'm like, that is an actor that can act.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
I guess bad acting, like what you said made me think, okay, what do I think bad acting is then? It's a more, if you can deliver your lines more robotic or more like you're not feeling the character. Like, okay, one big part of acting is dialogue, right?
Yeah.
A conversation, because that's how we are as humans. We are communicating, and that's one of the huge things in movies is communication. That's why you get to know the characters through dialogue, right, or through monologues. So if you can have there's a movie on Netflix. I think it's a Netflix movie, but it's called the Meyerowitz story. This story about this family. And the director in that movie does a really great job directing these actors in natural conversations where they interrupt each other and they're just like a normal family with their problems, and they're talking over each other, and you can see that it seems like a genuine time, or that you're just watching this family. You know what I mean? So then when it doesn't feel like that anymore, that's when it's like, like for example, the Marvel movies, most of them, like those are fun and those are great. But if you want to say, okay, they're acting really well, I can't really say that for most of the characters. Maybe some of them, but that's definitely like it all depends on what kind of movie you're watching. If you're watching a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, you're gonna get acting.
Yes.
Yeah. You're gonna get like what's the actor?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis, My Left Foot.
Yeah.
And the one with the red, the one with the oil.
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be blood. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought blood red. So yeah, There Will Be Blood. He has his like quiet moments, but he also has his loud
that's
moments,
true.
like
That's
milkshake.
True. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But him, it seems like more. When I see him acting, he is acting, but it doesn't seem like he's not trying to win the Oscar. He's just trying to do his craft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. I think
there's
he's a
people-
powerhouse. Yeah.
There's people that you see their performances and you see them act and they are good and they're not doing it for the Oscar. They're doing it because they like it. And I think that those actors are some that don't even have Oscars. Like Jake Gyllenhaal in that Nightcrawler movie. He's
Oh my gosh.
fantastic
Yeah.
in that movie.
That was that got under
Phenomenal.
my skin.
Which is why I love Phantom Thread.
That
Right, I
was,
still have to
it's
watch
so like Daniel Day-Lewis in that movie. He's just like he's this other guy. You're watching him. You're not watching Daniel Day-Lewis.
Right.
He's just this guy.
And that's what you admire in people's acting, not because I like that every time we say acting, we all go like with our hands up, like acting,
like we're holding a
Yeah.
skull.
like we're scolding a skull. We are,
Hamlet.
and that's kind of how we portray acting, because that's more of like theater acting. But like in film, it's those subtleties, or the fact that you can see a film and get lost in it and be like, this is a real person, or this is a even, like I said, and even in biopics, there's people that have done amazing jobs, like Margot Robbie. Once again, she played Tanya Harding really well in I, Tonya. I think she was really good in it. Is it the best movie? Maybe not. I'm not a fan of biopics, but I think she did great. And I've never seen Phantom Thread, but I want to watch it. It's definitely on there. It sounds definitely like a movie I'd love to watch. And I feel like acting is art. A lot of people are like, how is that art? And I'm like, I think that for a person to take themselves emotionally, physically, and mentally to a point where an actor is, whatever film it may be, like putting themselves through that to so that we can be entertained because they love it. I feel like I'm glad that people do recognize that and people can appreciate what goes behind acting, because these people are not just people that I'm going to be an actor tomorrow. Like, they went to school, they've studied, they've definitely worked on the craft that they do. And I feel like I'm glad there's recognition for that, because a lot of people always focus on the writing and, especially on technicalities. But I feel like performance is an art. And I'm glad that people recognize that, and that's why it's something that I love in film. And especially if somebody tells me, I've watched films just because somebody told me the acting's great, and I'm like, I'll watch it.
And it definitely has also become like, at this point, I don't. That's I could be criticized for this, but I don't follow the Oscar.
Oh, me either.
Anymore,
not anymore. I don't,
because that's become so politicized, and so it's
sadly,
become like,
yes.
So like the big stars are the ones that get nominated, or whoever's in the guild, or whatever the heck it is.
Yeah, or
Now,
whoever they
you
are.
find really great performances in like these obscure like films and like independent films and like whatever you can go watch at cons, and then or did I say it right?
Or film festivals,
Telluride, and
yeah.
So,
and I have to agree. I think from the movies that you guys have told me about that I haven't watched, like, for example, I talk about Florence Pugh a lot, but a lot of people always say that her best performance is in Midsommar, and it's a film that the Academy will never touch, right? Because it's not what they want people to see. But yet, I've heard her performance was brilliant. I'll never see it because it looks terrifying, but people can appreciate that. Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler. I've also Robert Pattinson in Good Time. Toni Collette in Hereditary. Like, things like that you see, like films that will never be recognized by the Academy or by the SAG or by Golden Globes or whatever, but that these actors genuinely did a fantastic job because they like what they do, and they get the recognition, but the big people don't want to give it to them.
One thing, and I'm sorry I know you probably have something to say, but I'll just say real quick.
Wow,
one big thing that does contribute to the acting is, you asked about it before, is directing and script.
Yes.
You said script, and you said, I think you might have said directing. Well, yeah, that is there's a huge contributors, because you can have an amazing actor and then a director who doesn't care, and then it won't go anywhere.
Yeah,
or like a script that doesn't make sense.
That's so
or a
true.
Script that isn't really getting the feelings out of the character in a way that it seems genuine, because you can like over express yourself, and then you're like, oh, that's what the heck, why are you telling me everything that's in your head? It's not natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have to agree on that. That's a good point.
And that's where the director, the script, and the actor have to come together and meld together, and it's probably rare for you to get an amazing combination.
Yeah, and I have to agree. I was listening to something recently, and I was not offended, but I don't remember where I heard this, but it was saying like a good director always throws away the script, because obviously the actor learns the script, the director but when it's time to say action, you have to allow the actors to make these characters their own, but also allow the director to forget about the script and do what they need to do. That's what it is in the Call Me By Your Name analysis video.
Okay.
I know. I watched that, and it was about
Did you watch the movie?
No, I haven't seen the movie, but I watched the acting. Apparently, they were doing a comparison between the script and what was on film. The director allowed the actors to kind of add their own stuff, within reason. And there were little tweaks that like, let's say he's going down the stairs. The actor would, as he's going down, he's kind of looking around, going down the stairs, admiring his environment, and then he'll like touch the wall and just kind of feel it and then keep walking. And then in the script, that wasn't in the script, but the director told him, hey, can you touch the wall? The reason he did that is because he wanted the actor to kind of combine with the environment around him, and that the house became a character with him. So it's something that people, the writer probably wasn't like thinking about it, but the director's like, to be able to see that in film.
Yeah, caught that, and then
put that in the film. Or when they were trying to get on a bike, the script said, and they got on a bike and they drove off. the director's like, hey, can you take your time before getting on the bike? So the actor grabbed he cleaned the entire bike, dusted off before he even got on. That kind of added a little bit more, saying like, this is a guy that genuinely cares about where he's gonna sit. It's just the little things that kind of add onto his character that wasn't in the script to begin with. So I thought that was interesting, because you're right. I think that adds on to the acting is good and they'll do great, but if you have good directing that's willing to take risks, yes, that might that's that layer to what we see as great performances, which might be the reason why the whole Academy is like, well, we don't want that type of film here, because it's the risks that don't get recognized, but it's the ones that we as people that admire film, acting, and writing can appreciate even more.
Yeah, and those films would become cult classics.
Yeah.
If they're totally shunned by society or whatever.
Yeah.
In due time, they'll get their
Twilight?
Their moment.
Yes.
I was trying to think of my favorite performances in
Twilight, like Jasper.
Jasper in Twilight is up there. But what's it called? My favorite types of movies, and I don't know what this says about me, but it's like the story of a man, a tragic story about a man. So some of my favorite acting, when it comes to acting specifically, in times that I've noticed acting, was Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Ooh.
I loved his acting. It was like I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah, fantastic.
And another one is this could be a weird pick. Ben Affleck in Gone Girl.
Interesting.
I
that's
love that.
Great,
I love
great
that
choice.
acting, because he's like on a razor's edge, and for me, he just stuck the landing so well, like so confidently.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm like sold, like completely invested in the story.
That's a great pick. I think that would be a fantastic example of somebody that's not Ben Affleck. That's just a man, a random white guy being charged of his wife's murder, and you're like, oh, that guy did it, because he just played that so well.
Yeah.
And I think that would be, and he's not a superhero. He's not wearing like a suit. He's just a random white guy trying to not be charged of murder.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to agree. Obviously, I'm not very quiet. One of my favorite performances ever is Natalie Portman in Black Swan.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I rewatched it recently. She's amazing.
Going through her filmography in my head. I was like, Phantom Menace? No, wait.
Phantom Menace?
Leon the Professional?
Definitely. Okay. I mean, she won the Oscar for that. And
Black Swan.
Yes. Yeah. Well earned. I just, as many times as I've seen that film, and I've written 2 papers on that film already. Oh, wow. 2. Nice. And I've definitely taken my time rewatching it, and I do not get tired of her performance. Like, how she goes from this, like, very minimal, like innocent, quiet, gentle, the way she moves, it's just so soft, to like her breaking her mom's arm type thing. Like, what the heck? This girl went crazy, but still, like, fantastic job. And you're able to see how that changes over time. And a performance like that is what I really like. Also, another performance that I really like, which I feel like maybe it's not as popular, but both Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale in The Prestige.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Obviously, it's not like...
say The Greatest Showman.
I thought you were going to say Les Mis.
Both, all of that. It's not Nolan's most favorite, and even for them, I feel like Hugh Jackman might have other films that are like even better, and even Christian Bale has been in other films. But I mean, at least for me, the way they work together, their chemistry together, the way they're friends, but they kind of hate each other and they're frenemies. Yeah. All of that back and forth, I think it's really good. And also Christian Bale, spoiler alert for The Prestige. I'm literally giving
What is there to spoil?
Nothing.
Okay.
Spoiler alert to The Prestige. It's a big one. So if you've never seen it, skip like 3 seconds.
Oh, okay.
30 seconds. Okay, the way he's able to play both characters but be different in the most nuanced of ways. Like the smallest things, from him looking at the girl he loves one way when he's one character, but then looking at her a different way when he's a different character.
Yeah, I didn't consider
Yeah.
that.
Things like that is when Christian Bale, I'm like,
Yeah, and if you're
this-
watching closely, you'll
would
pick
notice.
up on it.
You'll know when he's annoyed with her, and you'll
Mhm.
notice when he's genuinely in love with her. You'll also notice the way he acts around the girl, the little girl, when it's his daughter and when
Mhm.
it's not his daughter. And you'll also see the way he sees Scarlett Johansson's character too, and how he will see her with like disagreement or disgust because he's married and he's in love with his wife, but he still has to pretend. Like, it's those little things. And even Hugh Jackman going from this man who's so excited for his craft to like, I don't care about my wife. I don't care about her, and I'm gonna take this girl's life and ruin it just because it's what I want. It's like, I like to see
Yeah.
that. That's what I like to see.
That's another tragic man story. A Josh classic.
Josh
get my stamp
classic.
of
That's in
approval.
there? That's in the list.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll stamp that one.
Great. Okay, spoiler done.
Oh yeah, that's true. That was that 30 seconds.
I don't know. I try to make
About,
it quick.
yeah.
About. I think so.
So one choice that I have and that I looked up is that I think it was like a great meld of the way the script goes and then the actor and then how the director made the film. Is Hot Fuzz. I think Simon Pegg does a
Oh.
really great job in playing the character he's supposed to play and acting as, you know, this really serious guy, and then everything else around him is like,
yeah.
you know, crazy and
To
cuckoo.
great effect.
Yes,
great
and so I think
effect.
he does a great performance and he acts really well,
Mhm.
and completely different from like in the Cornetto trilogy, which are these three films made by Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg,
Mhm.
and actually Nick Frost too, where in each film he plays his characters are different,
Yeah.
and so in this one it's a very crazy contrast between him and Hot Fuzz and then him and Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I think he does well in playing this like, I'm too serious, you know. So it's like the movie can be goofy, but he's playing the character or he's acting the character in the right way,
Yeah.
and it doesn't take you out of the film like, oh, why did you say that like that? It's so robotic or like dry or weird. Yeah. So I recommend that movie.
Yeah.
If
Oh
you're-
yeah, that's a
I've
great
also
one.
never
watch it.
seen them.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I know I have to. They're
I don't want to know what
definitely
you think
on
of it.
my list. You guys know I'm going through the Disney live actions,
Yeah, you are.
so I'm not really watching anything.
How far along are you,
but
by the way?
I was
4 months.
No, I watched 101 Dalmatians, 102 Dalmatians, Alice in Wonderland. The next one's Maleficent, but it's not even on Disney Plus.
Oh, well,
Which
look
is
who
so
returned to our conversation. Mickey Mouse and Disney Plus shafting us again. Is that inappropriate? Shafting?
Oh, I don't know.
Is that
I have
R-rated?
no idea.
I don't think so.
What would
Well, Mickey
shafting
shafted me.
Oh, that just sounds weird.
Okay, Maleficent, because of other contracts, it won't be on Disney Plus until
Other
October
contracts.
1st.
Like if they didn't know that Disney Plus was coming out. How
I-
old is this movie?
But that's just the way contracts work.
Man,
And
But-
then they don't have the live action Cinderella either.
yeah,
Well,
what?
I mean, think about it. Like
they couldn't afford
so
the rights.
They have the rights to it, and then somebody wants to have it on their streaming, so they ask for it, and then Disney says, "Yeah, we can make some money off of this. You can have it for 3 months."
Which is fine. I don't
know,
mind
they
it.
make
But
more
now
money
when
off of
I'm
it.
in the middle of watching all of the live action Disney, couldn't they do it whenever it's
And
They
they've
should've
all
called
been
you
they've all been
first.
pretty good, right?
They should have.
Mickey should have
Call me
called you
first.
first.
Mickey Mouse.
He should be like, hello, Hila.
Oh wow,
Can,
it sounds like he's suffocating on something.
Mickey's getting shafted.
No, but I don't know if I should just skip those two and then continue on to the Jungle Book and then continue to the rest of the
What's the other
trash.
one? Cinderella.
Yeah, it's Maleficent and Cinderella.
So Cinderella, I can understand. So where is it? It's like on Stars or something.
I think
it's
it might
probably
be on
it was
Stars
probably
right
on
now.
a contract of like a few years, and so it's there. So they, based on
it
the
was on
legal
Disney.
contract,
It was on Disney
they
Plus
they
like
can't
a couple
have it.
months
That's
ago.
the way it is. They can't have it on multiple streamings because let's say if it's Stars, Stars is like, you can't have it on yours because I have it right now on mine, even though it belongs to you. This is our contract. So if you if you have it on Disney Plus, you're breaking our agreement, and people are gonna go to your streaming.
People have to respect their agreements, but Disney can't keep theirs.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait,
it's all a double standard. No, man.
Oh wait,
you're defending Disney.
What is happening?
I'm defending
Mickey.
Contracts.
No, I'm defending contracts. Exactly. That's what I'm defending.
No,
I am not defending Disney.
No, bro.
This episode, when we post it, I'm gonna put a happy Mickey because Hoover's defending them. Unlike last time when he was
he's had a transformation.
Disney could go shaft himself.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Just kidding. No, but so I think I'm just gonna skip those and I'm just gonna watch the Jungle Book and continue on with Beauty and the Beast. Okay. I think I'll be fine. Beauty and the Beast. Yes. I think after Jungle Book is Beauty and the Beast, and then after Beauty and the Beast is Aladdin. Then it's Lady and the Tramp, Dumbo.
Lady and the Tramp is out?
Yes, Dumbo.
And then when does the Princess Diaries come in?
That doesn't count.
No, whatever.
Julia Roberts.
And what
I thought it was Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker. Maybe it was Sarah Jessica Parker with Julian and Jenna. I think it was.
It might have been. Yeah,
it was Sarah Jessica Parker, Anne Hathaway, and Julia Roberts.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like Anne Hathaway either.
Wait, what? So you're
she is definitely somebody who in very specific in certain movies she's like, oh, you're acting. And in other ones, you're like, okay, that's pretty good.
Like in Princess Diaries 1 and 2, I think she's good. I really like her.
You saw Catwoman?
You mean in The Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Is this because she's like in a sexy costume?
No, bro.
Are you sure?
She sold it.
She sold it when she got on the bike?
Wait, what other films has she been in?
Let me.
She's
She was in Alice in Wonderland. I did not like her in that movie.
Like man. Oh, you guys are
with the white hair.
You guys are I disagree so
she
strongly.
So like extra. I don't know. I didn't like it. The way she would make a whole like turn just to turn left. It's like you were already facing left.
You didn't like her in Interstellar?
Oh yeah, she was in Interstellar.
Actually, I don't think I hated her.
Oh, okay. You're changing your tune.
I'll tell you what movie.
Ella Enchanted?
I take it. Okay, no, I don't take it fully back. I think she's just good at playing princesses. Okay. She's good as Princess Mia, and then she's also good in Ella Enchanted.
I'm trying to find a movie where I'm like, okay, she's really good in that movie.
Wait, I've seen you scroll a lot. Okay, you've scrolled a lot already. What's going on here?
This is not part of the podcast, but I have to mention it. I don't know whatever your wife is making of it, but it smells so freaking good. It smells like una quesadilla de queso.
Probably.
She can make quesadillas?
She's made quesadillas.
Really? But she's white. Well, actually, no, she's Russian. Sorry.
I can't really find something where I'm like, it stands out, where I'm like, oh yeah, wow.
Check again.
Sandra Bullock. It was the other one. It was Sandra Bullock.
Oh my gosh.
No,
you guys are
Sandra Bullock.
Oh, okay, I was about to say.
About Julian,
he's talking about
somebody
on YouTube
okay.
Confused three actresses.
Okay, I was about to say, if you don't like Sandra Bullock, bro.
I like Sandra Bullock. She's great in Miss Congeniality.
Yeah, and Gravity.
I have to rewatch that.
Okay, I think the only one I can approve of is like The Devil Wears Prada.
You're right. She's in that.
That's one that I'm like, okay, yeah.
Okay, she's actually really good in The Devil Wears Prada.
And it also helps that the movie is good.
Yeah, that's actually another one. Meryl Streep asked this lady, the devil wears Prada. Mm-hmm. She's so good in that. That's probably my favorite Meryl Streep performance because to me, that's not Meryl. That's this woman.
Yeah.
I love that movie because of her.
Meryl Streep, that's an actress that has a long portfolio.
Yeah, she's the female version of Tom Hanks.
I like that. I like the comparison.
She has been in a lot of things. I think she could be a little bit hyped, but you know what?
She is hyped.
She is like Tom Hanks. She's a good actress.
But she has the history.
And she's been in a lot, and she is the hype.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? She's like Tom Hanks.
Isn't she in Kramer versus Kramer?
Yes.
Okay,
that's what gave her the Oscar, I think.
My favorite actor is Ryan Gosling.
We know this. It's not a confession.
I didn't know that.
You've been very open about it.
Oh, wow. Ryan Gosling. Yeah.
But I think it's, again, the tragic man story thing. I think.
Why is it tragic? He's like
He's
And
considered
La
so
La
hot for
Land,
people.
no, he's
The
in like a lot of
Notebook,
stories that I'm like Blade Runner 2049, yes.
Blue
La La Land,
Valentine.
yes. Blue
Like
Valentine,
what's
yes.
the one? Crazy Stupid Love.
Crazy Stupid Love, yes, bro.
Is that a tragic mate
I'm
story?
in.
I love
yeah.
that movie.
Well, actually, it's like a
He's
happy
just a hottie
story.
who gets the girl
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a hottie that gets the girl.
and who helps the girls.
He's
dad.
also in the Mob Story one. Mob Story? No, the Mob.
The Mob.
He's with it and with Emma Stone as well. Did you
Oh,
know
yeah, I
that
think I know what
Emma
you're talking about.
Watson was gonna be playing the character of Mia in La La Land, but she turned it down to be
Yes,
in
I
Beauty and the
did hear that.
Beast? And Ryan Gosling was gonna be playing the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, but he turned it down to be in La La Land.
Well, then we could have
Yup.
had two very different
Yes,
movies.
absolutely.
I'm glad that we got the La La Land that we got, and that it wasn't. And I'm glad that Beauty and the Beast just got whatever it got, so it can just be out of my way.
Oh my gosh.
It's like I will always defend Beauty and the Beast and and this is why I mentioned it in movies that are bad that I like. It's not great. The soundtrack's not great, but it just has more good things than bad. Gaston being one of them. Luke Evans looks amazing in that whatever outfit he wears. He's a great singer too.
Josh Gad,
He's
not
great.
being as gay as people said he was.
He was a normal
Hold
guy.
on.
Yeah, he was a totally
I mean, he
normal
was pretty
guy.
gay, but I mean, I'm just wondering, like, there was a lot of talk
Dude,
about
every
how gay he
single-
was,
every
but he
single
wasn't.
time,
and it's
yeah.
like, he's just a normal, like,
He's just a
what?
gay guy.
He's
Dude,
just
bro.
normal. Like, I don't get it.
Disney, anytime they're like, we've got a gay character on our movie, and it's like some minor supporting character kind of maybe almost has a boyfriend, girlfriend of the
No,
same
all
it's
they
like
did was
really
they touched the shoulder of the other
Yeah, it's
guy.
like, oh, confirmed, that's a gay. I'm like, man, I'm not buying into that, dude.
Before Finding Dory, there was 2 gay moms.
Finding Dory.
That was like a
Wait,
big
Oh,
thing, wasn't
oh
it?
my
background or
gosh.
something?
No,
In the movie, there's
in
2 gay
Onward,
moms.
in Onward as well. There was like
I've never seen it.
Oh, I have. Oh wait, I've seen Onward, but I
there
don't
was
remember any gay.
there was like a server at a restaurant who was like, yeah, I gotta get home to my girlfriend or something, and it was like,
Okay.
oh, we did it, we're so. I'm like, what? Wow, give them an award, okay. I
They
don't know.
did get an
award.
So you don't like that they're like, oh yeah, we're representing, but they really aren't.
Yeah, and it's like time and
So
time
you
again.
want them to represent more?
either commit.
Or
Oh,
don't.
okay.
Like, I'm not
I
buying
see.
into this thing of like every single, like, we got 2 girls kissing and the very far
But think about
background
it. How
of
is Mickey gonna make his money?
Oh my
How is Disney
gosh.
gonna? Disney has to play both sides. That's
You're
the
right.
thing.
Yes,
about
That's
Disney.
what they're
do.
doing.
That's how they
Because
make their
they
money.
He's
know.
shafting 2 ends.
Yes, exactly.
He really is, because they know very well
He's
that
riding the
something
line.
so open would never be accepted in other countries. Where do they make
Mhm.
most of their money?
And they're minute, minuscule things because they can be edited out if they're playing in other countries.
Exactly. So it's
Easy.
like, oh, okay, they clearly don't want to commit. Their
That's why,
heart's not in
To
it.
me,
You know,
goes back down to the root of the problem.
Mickey
They
Mouse.
Money.
need to create content that isn't after some agenda to make money, and that's never gonna happen.
Never.
So therefore,
Not
we're
as long
gonna
mon-
get
Not
trash.
as long as money is involved.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
won't.
saying. Like, we're gonna keep getting throw up with potential acting that could have been better, but it's not.
That's why I'm rooting for visionary directors. The Neil Breens of the world. Like,
Yes.
mad respect.
Yes.
You can't say anything to them. They're following their dreams.
When's Tommy Wiseau coming back?
When is Tommy
tried
Wiseau coming?
once.
Oh yeah, he did try to come back.
Try again, Tommy. I'm here.
Tommy, we need you, Tommy.
Doesn't he have like edits on YouTube
You
now?
seen the 2 gay
Does he?
guys in the Disney movie? Tommy, we need you, Tommy. Now's
Tommy
your time.
and Neil coming together making a movie.
Oh.
You imagine that?
With Neil's film Money and Tommy's
I don't know.
Wisdom?
Hold on.
They
That
were-
could be.
they were trying
That
to come-
movie could be legitimately good.
I mean,
You think?
you're-
I'm like, hold on. I think
I
that
don't
they
know,
could.
Josh.
I think they could stumble their way into like
Oh,
The
I see.
Godfather.
And then imagine if that
No, I'm
happens,
sorry,
and
I
then
can't
20 years
agree.
from now, somebody's doing a biopic of them too.
I think they could.
I can't agree with that. I'm
Hold
sorry.
on. You haven't heard the theory of like if you got a million monkeys typing, one of them's gonna type Hamlet. or whatever.
That's literally what happened.
Nope.
That's what Shakespeare
I don't think
did.
that's enough
Shakespeare's not
monkeys.
real.
There needs to be
It was a
way
monkey.
more
It
monkeys.
was a monkey.
Shakespeare in Love. It was a monkey the whole
It was a
time.
Which
monkey.
monkeys were jumping on the bed?
All I'm
Six
saying
little
is
monkeys
they
jumping on
they
the bed.
they're
One
outsiders.
fell
Okay,
off and broke
they're
his
not
head.
they're not
Five little
they're not
monkeys.
bought by the mouse. Okay, so they can make
But
something
the second that
truly
Disney
artful,
says,
true art.
"Hey guys, you guys want some money? Okay."
Could you imagine Neil Breen at the reins of like the next like the multiverse of madness?
You want to talk about good acting?
Mm.
Neil Breen, bro. He delivers every line he delivers. The Oscars should be shaking. Their knees should be shaking.
Quaking.
Yes.
I can't believe you committed suicide. I can't believe you committed suicide.
I think I hear only Neil Breen.
It's like if I squint, I'm like Heath Ledger. oh.
Heath Ledger. Oh my god! I feel like it's funny
Is
how
it too
we.
soon? Too soon? Suicide, Heath Ledger?
No, not
No,
not soon at
because
all.
it wasn't.
Sorry, I
What?
just-
No, I mean also Heath Ledger wasn't suicide. It allegedly
Yeah.
was.
Apparently, somebody wants Heath Ledger to be the Jared Leto version.
I mean,
Oh.
I think we
Can
should.
you imagine?
Wait.
In Suicide Squad,
Never mind. Never mind.
Suicide
Never mind.
Heath Ledger comes out and says, "Hit me."
That's what he
Ew,
says.
So gross. I think what's
And
funny.
then Batfleck is like,
Batfleck.
Batfleck,
Wait,
yeah.
is that what you guys call him?
yeah, oh yeah,
Batfleck?
yeah,
I've never seen that
But
man act
he's
as
not the
Batman.
new Batman
Never
anymore.
seen any of the movies.
You're missing out.
Am I?
It's Robert Pattinson now, and he's gonna say, "I sparkle."
And then he's gonna say Bella
And then Jasper's gonna be running.
with his face. Have you seen that girl? Yeah, I sent you the girl that is
Uh-huh.
like an edit. She always makes fun of all the Twilight characters, and the face she makes for Jasper is the funniest thing.
You
Because
know
that's
Jasper,
for
right?
everything.
Mhm.
Jasper's your homie.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I know who he is.
Maybe one day we should do Twilight as our pick. That would be really
that would
funny.
be interesting.
But I think it's cool how we ended up talking about acting.
Yeah, most of it
Or-
is acting.
Acting.
Acting with a skull in a
Every day I wake up.
hand. Keep going with the monologue.
That's all I know.
In Marriage Story, the thing that always caught my attention was when he played the Invisible Man.
On the piano?
No, like he dressed as the Invisible
Oh
Man for
yeah,
Halloween.
yeah.
And that scene where he like puts his stomach in
Mm-hmm.
so that he looks like he's empty.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. I know that's so random, but
That is
I
so
always
random.
liked that scene. It just was cool. And then I felt sad when he's like, "Mom already took me." He's like, "No, but like, let's go." He's like, "I already have enough candy."
Is Jacob Tremblay the kid?
No, he's Luca from Luca.
Who's the? Oh, I guess it doesn't.
The little boy? I
Who's the
don't
little
know.
boy in Marriage Story?
I don't know.
I'm on it. Who's the boy from Marriage Story?
Here are some results.
Who?
What are the results?
Marriage Story. Noah Baumbach.
Noah
Noah
Baumbach.
No, that's the director.
Oh.
This sounds so stupid.
Maybe he's
Wait, he
the
didn't give it to you?
No, it didn't
He's
tell
the
me.
boy.
We're gonna look it up right now.
We should
Type it
watch The Boy as another
Marriage?
The
one.
boy would be a good pick. I
That
love
was
the
such
boy.
a good time. We should have Brenda in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's my sister. But yeah, I'm just. We were gonna talk about our favorite films, which we kind of did.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little
here and
bit.
there.
But
We
I
just-
think that we definitely deep dived into acting.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was interesting because I love it. I personally do love acting a lot. It definitely makes or breaks a film for me.
Azzy Robertson,
So it's a kid we don't know.
some kid.
Some kid.
I mean, the amazing Azzy Robertson,
There, that's more like it.
like the amazing.
He's the-
Spider Man?
Yes,
Is he
think
gonna
we've come
be in that movie?
our fried brains are revealing themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's already been there since we were gonna talk about a reminisce on our podcast episode and we ended up going into detail of Marriage Story and overacting Heath Ledger. And
And
what's
how-
that one guy?
Julie Andrews.
No.
Jared Leto,
that
Heath Ledger,
guy. No, not Heath Ledger. The other guy.
Joker.
That other Joker guy.
Jared
Joker.
Leto.
The one that says, doesn't he say to kick him in the balls?
Jared Leto?
That happens in the movie, right? He's like,
Mm,
kick
Suicide
me.
Squad?
Yeah. He's like weird about it.
Oh, you mean Julie Andrews?
oh
In
no,
Suicide
you mean
Squad.
Sarah Jessica Parker?
And as the Joker
Yeah,
in the new remake of the original Suicide Squad.
right. In the Snyder cut.
The Snyder Cut. Yeah, I think this is our time to get the heck out.
Yeah.
But overall, this is kind of what I mean by we could just have a good time. Did someone stick around to listen this far? Who the heck
I
knows?
don't know.
And you know what? That's okay, because we had a blast.
Yep.
I definitely did because I have to edit it.
That's true. You'll hear everything.
Thank you, Juve.
Thank you,
for
Juve.
all you do.
Thank you guys for all you do. And
We do nothing.
for being 2/3 of the movie. Amigos
I just sit here and
podcast.
mouth breathe for an hour.
You
That's what I
mouth
do. That's
breathe?
what I have to edit out.
Wait, do you guys mouth breathe? Do I mouth breathe?
Even you don't. I definitely do. I'm the one that does it the most, and I'm sure I've missed a whole bunch of my mouth breathing that people hear.
What the heck is that?
That just sounds like
Are
you're dying.
you joking?
That's how I breathe for an hour.
Joshua.
And also my nose,
I'm just
my
like,
nose, my nose breathing is also in there.
Emma Watson. That's all I do.
Emma Watson. Now I feel like I need to go watch. You see, and it comes back to she's good as Hermione.
I will say this though:
Ah.
any actor that I've mentioned that I say that is bad or not, or I don't care for them, they're 1,000,000 times better actor than I am.
Of course.
So I
Like,
give them all
we are
respect.
not-
Even Tommy Wiseau can act better than me, and Neil Breen.
Okay.
They can all act way better than I can.
If you
so
guys ever want to
it's
see
just
who
my
they
opinion.
act, go follow Josh
oh yes.
at the
Oh
YouTube.
no,
Oh,
please
yeah.
don't do
Joshman
that.
Oh,
972.
okay.
Oh,
Let's do
man.
it. Let's
Josh
do it.
has a YouTube channel and he has a couple.
You want to talk about
videos.
robotic and wooden?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You can
watch those
see us
videos.
act. See us act there.
You want to talk
It's-
about line delivery? Impeccable line delivery?
And direction. Mm.
Oh no, direction is Direction is
editing too? Not
Amazing.
gonna lie.
magnifique. C'est très incroyable.
D'accord.
J'adore les Joshman 972 cinéma. Film, I mean.
Film.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah, we've got to wrap
jeez.
it up.
Yeah, we do. But thank you guys for sticking around for an entire year.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you maybe it's the first time you listen. Sorry about that. Go listen to other episodes.
Go listen to the previous one.
Yeah. the
Oh,
previous
good
In
luck.
Spanish.
In Spanish. Or we have other ones. One of our favorites is Alita Battle Angel.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
another favorite one of mine personally is what's it called? One amigo, two enemigos.
Mhm.
That's a favorite of mine too. I really recommend that to a lot of first time listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Go listen to those. But if you've been listening to every single episode and you're still here and you're still like listening, why? But also thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Like, we're not here for the numbers, but it's still nice to see that you guys genuinely listen
Mhm.
and want to know what we like or we don't like. So we appreciate you so much. Very, very much. And hey, I mean, if another year comes from this, then another year of great film will come out and we will have a Twilight episode one day.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm
One
down
day.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
We'll see what happens. But I think this is it, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have an amazing, awesome, beautiful day. Wherever you're listening, put us loud and proud so everyone around you can hear.
Oh yeah.
At work, in the bathroom, at the
My
gym,
mouth breathing.
all of it. And thank you so much.
Turn it up loud right now.
And definitely... Yeah, obviously we're not like mentally here
That's what lumpy
anymore.
sounds like, right?
Oh my gosh! I watched it!
Oh yeah. You have to mention it real quick now.
I
Very
watched
quickly,
it!
you have to.
Sorry.
Hila, your reaction. Your reaction's like,
Okay. I watched Lumpy.
Uh-huh.
He was so cute.
oh my god.
He was the
And
most...
terrifying.
He was adorable all the
Oh
way
my
through.
gosh.
When they broke his little animal thing, the head, I was like, no, Lumpy, you deserved better.
Okay, but Lumpy was cute, but the rest of it.
Oh no, no, that grandpa was absolutely terrified. Like because I watched it with my sister, and then my mom showed up.
Oh
halfway
my
through.
gosh.
Brenda's like, fine, I'll watch it with you. And the first thing she's like, oh my gosh, that grandpa is terrifying. Where are his teeth? And I was like, I don't know. It didn't get any better. The whole way through, I was like, what is happening? And those random songs in the middle.
Yeah, oh my
or
god.
like that grandpa when he goes into this
Uh-huh.
weird
Yeah,
mental
yeah.
state.
Yeah,
like,
the
I'm
VR.
your fantasy.
Oh, bro.
Beautiful woman, creepy idea.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
And it wasn't that bad. I feel like Josh
Mm.
hyped it so low that it wasn't terrible. It really was. It was like, oh,
So I'll make sure to
okay.
do that for any movie I want you to watch.
Yeah. And then I'll be like, oh, it wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
it's not good, man.
Gotcha.
Lumpy was cute. He was adorable. My sister did mention that the grandpa looked like a scene from She's the Man.
Huh?
Okay, and She's the Man, there's this whole thing that she has to act like a lady.
Mhm.
And they're like, chew like you have a secret. And she's like, has a mouthful of chicken, and she like smiles like she has no teeth. So
Mhm.
Brenda looked at the old man and she's like, chew like you have a secret. And the whole time he came onto the thing, it was just so funny to us, my sister and I, because we made it into this whole inside joke. So we actually had fun watching
Oh
it.
my god.
But then halfway through, we were like, what is this? Also, when it went to this animated Star Wars, I was like, wait, so they went into a booth in the middle of this war to record this television special.
Uh-huh.
Inside a television special. Inside something else.
Yeah.
It
mhm.
was very confusing.
Yes.
But I want to say that Lumpy was adorable. And
Wow.
I loved him.
Agree to disagree.
He was cute. Except for when he had that look in his face when he was like looking down, and then it goes straight back up and looks from bottom up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it's like Lumpy.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, ah!
Yes.
Then it kind of fixes itself. You're like, okay, he's cute again.
Okay.
And that was it. It wasn't bad. It was
Wow.
cute. It was cute.
I'm glad you watched it.
Sorry, guys. I just
No problem.
remembered I watched it. Okay, that's it. We can go now.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.